All right. Maybe it worked.
We'll see. Hopefully you saw what we saw, but maybe not.
I think so.
Good.
It looks like, hey, we're watching it. We're watching it live just like everybody else is.
That's right. Yeah, that works good.
That works good.
So welcome, Bobby.
Welcome, Carrie.
It's good to be back again.
Yes.
So long ago, it's crazy.
What, 2-3 days?
Yeah, and here we are. You should notice the
Background?
wonderful castle behind us, which represents something special. And we will talk about that, of course. We can't get into copyright infringement by using anything Disney, so
Yes.
we have to use something that inspired Disney to create the castle that he created.
There you go. What's the name of the castle?
Oh yeah, Neuenschwein something or other.
Yeah,
It's in Germany.
yes, it's a German.
Just
castle.
remember that. I could tell you if I looked at it, but I'd have to look at it to be able to say
It's
it.
about that long.
Yeah. So, but anyway, this is great. This is cool. I think we're going to have fun. So today's Walt's Wisdoms is our typical deal, but we're going to switch that a little bit.
Okay.
And we're going to call it the Wisdom of Walt.
The Wisdom of Walt.
Now that's an acronym.
Still wow.
Yeah, exactly. Wow.
Wow. Holy wow.
So the Wisdom of Walt is wow, and we're going to talk about what that means.
Because he was all about the wow factor, wasn't he?
Which was really cool. So that's he spent his entire life creating experiences for people.
Mm-hmm.
Now you and I have talked about this before, and there are people that use this terminology, but Walt always used the word plussing.
Plussing it.
Remember what plussing means?
Yeah, taking it up a notch.
Yeah.
+1. So you've got it this good, you plus it, you go a couple more.
So every time that you are doing something, whether it's, and this is the cool thing about what we do, whether it's in your business, your life, your speaking stuff that we're talking about, all of those things, this applies.
Mm-hmm.
Plussing doesn't really matter whether it's business or personal.
Yeah.
You can always get better at what you do.
In fact, if you're not getting better, you're sitting still in your company. If you own a company or something, you're going to be going backwards if you're not going forward.
And Walt didn't create this part, but that's called minusing.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
yeah, some of us have been a part of minusing before.
Yeah.
It's not pretty.
A lot of people minus quite a bit. So we want you to plus.
Yeah.
We want you to get better at what you're doing regardless. And take a look at your life. So we talk about speaking, training, and coaching because that's what SpeakUp is all about. And I'm the CEO and founder, and Bobby is the
president of
SpeakUp. Professional Speakers Studio. So our job is to bring you great information about speaking, training, and coaching.
Yep.
And this one will be great, but again, it can also be used in your personal life or whatever kind of business that you're doing. So just apply it for those types of things as you're doing it. So let's talk about wow.
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 Let's talk about that.
And that's how it should be. We should be going, wow.
Yeah.
It's so fun when I've talked with customers to be able to do something and they go, wow, that's is cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Or I ask a question even in sales, for example, and they go, wow, I've never heard that question before. So when you've done something that's got that effect, because they will sometimes really use the words, and if it's not the words, they go, wow. In their mind, they're going, and you can see it in their expression. They're like, wow, this person's on to something. So we want you to think about the wow factor. And Bobby, in back in the day when Disney was first going, and for quite a while,
way back in the 20s.
Well, no,
30s.
It was 50s.
Okay.
When he started Disneyland, I should say
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Not when he started the movies.
Not the movies.
Gotcha.
So, and it wasn't even in the 50s, but there for a while. Of course, they didn't charge like a gate fee. It was like you bought a coupon, you bought a booklet, and it had all these different types of rides. And it started off with A, B, C, and A was like the not the greatest rides. And as the letters increased, they were the best rides. And it finally got to where it got to be an E. And the E ticket was the cool rides. They were the ones that had the best experience.
E-tickets.
E-ticket. So you want to have an e-ticket for your business.
Now it means you don't have paper.
Yeah.
It's an e-ticket.
Yeah, it's an e-ticket. It's completely
different.
Than
Throw that out
day
there.
And age,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, e-ticket.
But be thinking about, so E-ticket, E stands for experience.
Oh, experience.
Experience. And all of us want to have experiences. That's Walt figured this out way ahead of his time. People were dying to have these experiences. And that's not changed. You think about all the things we do on a day-to-day basis, and we want to experience or be immersed in the things that we're doing, the things that we like or whatever. So whether you're selling something, if you're a speaker or a trainer, you need to give the audience who you're talking to an experience.
An experience.
And you need to learn how to do this well. Because if you don't, you're going to really fail.
Yeah.
Okay? Even in your business.
An experience can mean so many things.
Yes.
It doesn't have to look a certain way, but when the crowd or the group that you're training feels the experience and is a part of it and it's integrated with what's going on, that's where it makes the difference.
Yeah, yeah. And it doesn't matter whether you're in business, in sales, in marketing, all of it's about giving a customer experience. And we're
your
talking
business,
about a good
whether
experience.
it's service or if you've got a widget, that widget should create, like, solving a problem as an experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it needs to be something that's powerful enough to get them to remember things, to get them to go, this person's different, this company's different, and I want to buy from them, or I want to listen to them as a speaker. I want to talk to them more. It affected my life. It changed who I am.
Right.
That's what we're talking about here. So we want to make sure we give great experiences. Not just experience, because you can have a bad experience too.
Yeah. Been a part of a few of those, both ends, both sides.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've given bad experiences.
Yeah, me too.
So we want to make sure that you are focused on wowing. So what are those things that people can do to wow, their audience, or to wow their customers,
Or plus it.
Plus one, to get better and better.
Yeah.
And we have to think about what the customer not needs but wants.
The desire.
Yeah.
Because we all know we lead with our heart, not with the logic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People love to buy things. People love to have the experience.
They just don't like to be sold to.
They don't like.
They love to buy things, but they don't like to be sold.
Exactly.
I'll buy stuff like they say. I want to go buy something. I don't say I want to go be sold something.
Exactly. Yeah. And you could ask any woman about whether they love buying shoes.
Be careful, Carrie. Be careful.
Whether they like to buy shoes. And I can tell you, most women like to buy shoes.
Yes.
And when they buy them, they don't go in there and think logically about those shoes. They're looking at themselves in the mirror and they're going, "Man, these shoes look good with this outfit." Now they may go home and tell their husband.
I've been on many a shoe trips with my wife.
Yeah.
And it is an experience for her.
Yeah.
For me, I mean, I enjoy saying my 2 cents. Yeah, those are cool. Oh wow, those are nice. But yeah, it's an experience for her for sure.
And it's a want. It's a experience. But lots of times they'll go home and tell their husband or their spouse, "Hey, this was a great deal. I got it on sale." So they buy emotionally. They buy on emotion, but they actually rationalize or talk with somebody else with it using logic. So, but we all do that, and we all love to buy things. Another thing about experience: if I were to hold up an apple, and you had never tasted an apple or seen an apple before. It would be only after you bite into it and experience it that you would realize the wonder of what an apple is. So sometimes we have to dig in and dive into something to create the experience, because we can't just look at it and go, "That's really nice." Once we bite into it, then we have the experience.
That reminds me of a time when when I was younger, and it was with my dad, and I was trying to get my dad to eat healthy, and we were trying to be healthy as a family, and my dad just did whatever, right? And I said, Dad, we're gonna eat healthy. Me and Mom, we're gonna start eating healthy. And sure enough, the next day, my dad brings home a giant thing of donuts, and I'm like, Dad, these are not healthy. These are, but they were on sale, and he was saying they're on sale, and I told him, well, would you buy nuclear waste if it was on sale? No, I wouldn't buy nuclear waste, but he loved donuts. He loved donuts. He loved the sweetness, the goodness, the chewy, yummy, and it was hard to compete with that.
They're a nut. I'm thinking they're a nut. Aren't they healthy for you?
Nuts are good.
So, what creates these types of things? Apple. I don't mean the Apple, but the.
You're talking the computer.
Yes. So Apple, like an iPhone.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, I think a few people
a techie
probably,
company.
Thought, oh, Apple. So what creates this experience with Apple, for example, or Starbucks? Why can Starbucks charge
$5 for a cup of coffee?
For a long time, coffee was like 5 cents a cup.
Yep.
You can't
or
find
50 cents for unlimited.
Yeah, yeah. So what changed it from that 5 or 10 cents to $3, $4, $5? Or why do people go to Apple stores and camp out overnight to get this specific phone or whatever that's coming out when they know they could wait just a few days and they could buy it anyway?
It's all about the experience.
The experience.
I remember reading the biography, the Steve Jobs biography, and he talked about how much he put into the packaging. How when they first did the iPhones and everything, it was he spent more money on packaging than anybody had ever spent before. And he said, I want this to be a magical experience when they open the box and it's presented as a piece of artwork. And it was. Yeah. And everybody fell in love with that. They knew, man, and then now you've got all these people on YouTube and everything that are doing the open box thing, and he created that. Now everybody's got cool packaging, but Steve Jobs was the one that came up with that experience.
Yeah, and that's the whole point is taking something that you do, whether it be sales or whether it be your business, whether it be speaking, training, or coaching, which is what we're talking about. How can you repackage that? How can you package it into giving customers a wonderful experience that they go, I want to come back and hear this again. I want to talk with this person.
Yeah, before the box thing, nobody cared.
No.
Nobody cared about the box. Nobody cared what was in it. I mean, they cared what was in it, but they didn't care how it was presented.
Right.
And now it really matters.
It does.
This is in a crappy box. It must be a piece of junk. It's the box it's in.
Yeah. Well,
amazing.
See, Disney did the same thing. When he was getting ready, of course, to open Disneyland, people said, you're not going to be able to do
nuts.
This. Why are you spending all this money on Main Street? Mm-hmm. Why are you spending all this money on landscaping? You are not going to make this.
They come for the rides.
People care about that.
People come for the rides. They don't care. All the places run down. They don't care. They just come for the roller coasters.
Yeah. And he proved them all wrong because people love the experience when they walk into Disneyland and they walk through Main Street. There's just something, again, magical about it.
The characters. And oh, man, when I went with my daughter when she was like 6, she had the greatest time going up and getting signatures from all the different characters. Half our time was spent getting signatures from characters and pictures.
Yeah. And Main Street leads to this beautiful castle that we have at Disneyland. The whole thing is to create this experience for people all the way along the way, and right into what becomes the hallmark or the landmark at Disneyland, and that's the castle. So
everybody gets their picture taken in front of the castle.
Yeah. So this is what we want to do with our business too. This is what we want to do with speaking. When you're creating your message, and I don't care. Honestly, I don't care if you're a trainer and you're used to giving like these boring PowerPoint presentations as a trainer. Stop it.
You're killing me.
Stop doing that and start creating an experience for these people that you're talking to. Yep. Okay? Don't make it boring. Make it wonderfully beautiful and bring people into it, immerse them into the program.
I think the coolest thing about Walt and why he was so successful is because he put himself in the customer's shoes.
He did.
He knew what would move him. He knew what would connect him to what he was doing, and he was constantly, I mean, if you read about Walt, he's constantly talking to children, looking at kids, asking them what they like, what they want. I mean, he was always observing to try and connect to them more. And as a speaker, if you can connect to your audience and get real buy-in and real connection with your audience and understand where they're coming from so they can understand where you're coming from, wow, you have an experience.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, you have an experience.
Exactly, and that's what we want to do. So here's a question for you, and I'm going to read it. What would your life or your company, your sales, your success look like if you constantly created those wow experiences, those e-ticket experiences? What could you do differently? What would your sales, your business be like, your home life be like, even if with your spouse, your significant other, whatever that may be? What would change if you could create a wow experience with them every single time? You know, again, it's about the experiences we have. Those are the things that we remember.
So true.
Those are the things that we have that we can keep hold of. You think about all of the things, of the possessions you might have, or the
memories,
or the experiences or memories you have, and you're always going to go back to the memories because those are the things you remember.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and if you're training or you're doing a keynote speaking or something like that, and you're not creating some kind of engagement with the audience, they're not going to remember you.
No.
They're not going to remember it.
It's going to go away really fast.
And they're not going to get anything out of it. If you have some powerful information that's going to change their business world, their life, if you're a personal development person or a motivational speaker, but you don't connect with them in an energy that gets them excited and have an experience, then they're going to forget you.
Yeah. You know, and you've experienced this as well. No pun intended. Experience. You've experienced this as well, and I have too, where people have come up after a program, maybe years later. I talked with a guy not too long ago that I talked with or trained with a lot of years ago, and he said, "You made such an impact on me through the training that you gave. I still remember those things."
Yeah. Yep.
Now, I tried really hard, and I still do, to always bring, you know, everything I've got into the training, not just be boring, but be fun and exciting. And years later, I still have people saying that was a great experience for me.
Yeah, you know you're on the right path, and they're so rewarding when somebody comes up to you and says, you know what, that one little piece of information that you've given me has changed my whole world.
Yeah,
it's changed my whole life, and I've had that happen quite a few times, and it humbles me every time.
Yeah,
I'm like I'm where I'm supposed to be when I'm doing these things,
and that's fantastic. You know, to be able to do that. So,
yeah.
So here's a question for you: how can you focus more or as much on the experience as you do the product that you sell? So, you know, we focus so much of our attention on the product.
Yes.
How can we focus more of our attention on the experience? You know, there's a saying that says, you know, when you're talking with customers or you're talking with your audience, focus on and sell the transformation, not just the product itself. So when you look at your product or whatever, how can you look at that and say, how can I change this so that I can focus more on the experience with the product as opposed to the product by itself?
Yeah, I'm always blown away when salesmen come up to you, salespeople come up to you and they go, oh wow, this widget does 400 things. It does these 400 things. Man, it'll blah blah blah, and they start blah 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 blah. And I say, you know what? I needed to do two. I needed to do these two things really well and always work. And that's it. I don't care about the 400 other things.
Yeah.
I needed to do these two things. You're not blowing me away. You're actually annoying me by telling me all of these other features that don't matter to me at all. It dumbfounds me when even salespeople, even seasoned salespeople, get stuck in the, oh, I've got to promote this product and hype it up so cool. We don't really care.
No.
It's about the experience. It's about what am I going to grow from by having this product?
What's the solution?
Yeah.
So as speakers, trainers, and coaches, as business people, as salespeople, as marketing individuals, again, what is the solution that you're providing? What's the experience that you're giving, not what the product does. Now, you may talk about those things, but the experience, the solution, the transformation that you provide to people is really what they're focused on and what they're looking for. And so many times we fail or we fall short of that piece when we do it.
Yep, so true.
So let me read one little thing here. This is by Walt. So we can't be satisfied even though we'll get crowds at Christmas time. We've always got to give a little bit more. This was back in a time when they were talking about doing the parade at Disney.
Oh, and everybody said, no,
that costs
too much.
It costs too much, Walt. Why are you doing that? And he says,
it's such a hassle.
We can't be satisfied even though the crowds at Christmas time, we've got to give them more. So it'll be worth the investment. If they ever stop coming, it'll cost 10 times more to get them back than it will be to keep them involved in the process.
He's always plussing.
Always
plussing. And so take it to the next level and the next level.
Yeah.
And then people will always come back.
So this is what we want to encourage you today. Just plus. Get that in your mind, plussing. And be focused on the experience rather than the product.
Yeah.
Be focused on the transformation the customer's going to have as opposed to the product.
Yeah.
And see if that makes a huge difference in your personal life, in your sales, in your speaking business, in your audience, all of those things, your business. It's going to change.
Yeah.
We're working on doing that right now with all of the things we're doing. Trying to plus
it.
It would be really easy, by the way, to just have a blank wall back here with some stuff that's hanging on the wall, but we're trying to plus it and bring some fun into the video,
Yeah.
And that's the whole point behind it. We want to give an experience to the people that we talk to as well.
Mm-hmm.
So go out there and think of the ways you can create great experiences for your customers or your audiences. Be plussing all the time. Come back to the drawing board all the time. Give them an e-ticket.
The experience.
And let them have the best ride instead of the A ticket.
Yes.
Which is not the best ride.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say on experience before we take off?
Oh, man. It's important.
Yeah.
It's important to connect with your audience by giving them more than just information.
So on February 16th, we're having an experience for you.
Yes.
That you can come and see what we're talking about. February 16th.
Business Game Changer, Success Without Limits.
Yes. And they can buy their tickets or they can go find out more about it on SpeakUpSpeakers.com. And you can come to that event and see what we talk about when we talk about the experience. Okay?
It's going to be different than anything you've ever seen, anything you've ever been to, especially when it comes to business.
Yeah, when it comes to a business conference, we're going to be creating something.
This is no conference. This is an event.
Exactly. So, hey, this has been fun.
Yeah.
Wisdom of Walt, the wow. Remember, wisdom of Walt, wow. And you're going to be able to remember this experience and be able to share that with other people. So we enjoy being here. We love having you come on. We love to have you watch. We love to have you share. So share the message out there. We hope we're bringing some value to your business and to you personally when it comes to speaking and training and coaching or in your business as a salesperson or marketer or whatever.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
We'll see you guys later.
All right. Talk to you later. Have a good one.